expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one.
How many years?
Your
77.
enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savages. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
That was General Dwight D. Eisenhower giving a speech to the troops just before D-Day. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Middleboro in Review. Today is June 6th, 2021. We remember the lives lost on June 6th, 1944, 77 years ago today. Throughout the show, we'll be talking a little bit about D-Day, a massive operation undertaken by the Allies to take back France and to take back Europe. This was step one, D-Day. And throughout the day, we'll talk about it. And also on today's show, we have special guests from the Middleboro Food Pantry. I want to say good morning to them right now. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing, everybody, on this beautiful Sunday morning? Can we turn down?
Can you hear me? Okay. How is everyone doing on this beautiful morning today?
That was my line. What are you doing? That's my line. I said that first.
So, do you guys have any thoughts about D-Day?
For patents there on me, so he would only talk about it after he's had a few beers. He just had a real hard time talking about combat like a lot of veterans. So every time I see a war movie or a D-Day, I think about him and my dad. My dad served in the Pacific. So it always kind of hits home with me. I'm a little older than most of your listening audience, but it always affects me pretty deeply. Thanks for asking, Joe.
And our other guest, what are your thoughts?
No, I think my dad was in the Korean War, so that was and he never talked about that, but having seen read several stories and seen some movies about the war. Just what our soldiers did over there is just unbelievable, and I think forever in debt to the sacrifices that were made, by the chosen few, for everyone else to survive and, provide the future we have today. So.
Yeah, I feel with their sacrifice, and especially World War II, but all the foreign wars and all the veterans,
Yes.
from day one, we owe it to the veterans just to be outstanding citizens and do the right thing, because they made the ultimate sacrifice. So when you get a little selfish, when you get a little this, you get a little that, I always try to think, I think of that, because I'm here, I have my son, I have my family, and I'm blessed to live in this country, and I'm doing good. I'm eating, I have roof over my head, I'm gainfully employed, so you couldn't ask for a better thing than that, and I have good family and friends who love me. So that's, at the end of the day, that is what life's all about, in my opinion, and the veterans made it possible for all of us to have this radio show, to talk to you, to be free, and to carry on with with your loved ones, and pretty much be free. That's just how I feel.
So, our guests today, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, both of you, real quick.
I guess I'll start. My name is Raymond LaPree. I'm the president of the St. Vincent Fall Conference in Middleboro, and we service the town of Middleboro as well as Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. We have a downtown food pantry that my cohort David Cunningham was on with us today. He is the manager. So we're open twice a week. We do a lot of fundraising. We try to help in many other ways outside of just giving food to people. There's a whole list of litany on our website. If you want to look us up at St. Vincent de Paul, Middleboro, and you'll find our webpage there. So, thanks for asking.
So, there is something I want to talk about that we've been talking about on the show recently, and that is the drive-in food service for veterans. Tell us a little bit about that.
David knows more about that because he's our coordinator with the Greater Boston Food Bank, and it's one of their initiatives, and he also works with the veterans group in town. I'll let him describe that one.
Yes, good morning, Joey. My name is Dave Cunningham. As Ray said, I'm the director of Pantry Services for the Sacred Heart Food Pantry, which started 15 or 16 years ago. I've only been involved for a couple years now since I retired from my job. I figured I need to find something to do, and this was a really worthwhile effort in our community that deserved my time. So, as far as I was aware, we've always been helping the veterans out at Thanksgiving and Christmas time with the traditional holiday meals that we put out. Turkey meal with all the fixings and everything. And last year, with the beginning of the pandemic, we were concerned because our numbers were actually trending downward. So we were trying to figure out if the way we distributed food was impacting, our operation in any way. And our pantry has always operated on, as far as I'm aware, of what's called client choice. So our pantry's sort of like a small shopping, grocery store. You come in and you pick all the food you want for our shelves for your grocery cart as you go through the pantry, dry goods and meat and produce and stuff. So we figured maybe that was an uncomfortable method of distribution for the people using our pantry. You've seen on the news, all the lines of people, mile-long lines, waiting to get food, in Boston and other cities around the country. So we decided to try and do something similar in Middleboro last year. So around the beginning of May, I think we planned for a meal distribution in the parking lot behind our pantry for early May. We prepared like 100 meals up to distribute. We only were able to give out I think 36 of those meals, and we were wondering what to do with the rest of them, and so I decided to call our local veterans office. Jason Cox is the person in charge down there, and he was more than willing to help us organize a drive-through and distribute the rest of the meals through the veterans that we've been helping out at the holidays. And they went, I think they got rid of all those meals in like an hour or something like that. The line was stretched all around Station Street by the VFW Hall here in Middleboro. So Boston, we're part of, we're an agency of Greater Boston Food Bank, and as part of the food relief efforts that were being put together through them and the state of Massachusetts, they're making available these non-perishable food boxes. I think a lot of people might have seen the boxes around town. They had the Salvation Army logo on them and stuff like that. So we could order those, and then talking with Jason, he was very interested in us continuing to do a distribution of some sort. So beginning last June, we did a monthly one. We gave out something, we're in order like 85 veteran households came through, and I think the veterans were primarily from Middleboro, but I know based on the log they were keeping, a few neighboring communities were coming in to participate and take advantage of the food we were making available. In addition to the dry box of food that was in the Salvation Army box, we tried to put together other things like frozen meats and other some dry good noodles and things like that we had extra enough of available to augment what was coming in from the Greater Boston Food Bank box. So, and with the 85 being that number, we thought it was really worthwhile to continue. So, starting in July, we actually did a twice a month food distribution, but I think every other week, and we ran that for as long as those Salvation Army boxes were available, which was through September or so. So we ran a total of 7, including the initial one, 8 different food distributions for veterans in Middleboro. We averaged, we served 1,114 people through those food drives. And there was approximately, 83 households each time. So 160 people each food drive were receiving food in our area. So, and then this year, those boxes became unavailable anymore, so we weren't really able to provide that type of support to them. We did our traditional Christmas, Thanksgiving ones, but this spring, Greater Boston Food Bank contacted us, and they were looking to see if we were interested in receiving another type of non-perishable food box that they were putting together and making available to Pantry that they service. So we thought we would do that, and I called Jason, right off the bat to see if they were interested in supporting and helping coordinate another food distribution like we did last year. And we're planning on doing those. We are doing those. We had the first one in April. We had one this past month, May 18th. The third Tuesday of every month from 11 to 12 a.m. is 11 a.m. to 12 noon is the distribution hour. And so far we've only had about 34 households come through. So we're trying to re-publicize the fact that we're doing this. They've been using the VFW newsletter and all their other channels of communication to let households know that we're distributing food again to any veteran in need. No questions asked. All they have to do is just let us know how many people are in the household, so we can keep track of numbers that Greater Boston Food Bank wants to be able to keep track of and report for justifying the continued support of food of this nature. So that's where we're at right now with regards to these veteran food drives. Right now, with the number of boxes we have available, we're going to be able to run this through probably September or October at the rate that we're using them right now. If the number of people start going up, we have the ability to get more boxes from Boston as needed. So we're looking forward to doing this, and we're augmenting them again a little bit with items. I think the last 2 times we've given like frozen chicken patties out and bread, couple of items that weren't in the non-perishable food box, just to move some through to the system and, give them some additional things that, weren't in the box to begin with.
Hi, Dave. Dave, I'm sorry, right? Dave Cunningham, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I'm terrible with names. Good quick question for you. As far as other communities picking up any veteran services, is this something that other food pantries have been doing, or something you guys have pretty much created? I mean, because it seems like we're talking to Ray, 3 or 4 times over the last year, and it seems like you guys are cutting edge as far as everything you do. As far as you guys just keep reinventing the wheel as far as services for people. Now you got the veterans drive-through. Is this something that you guys created yourself, or something that you maybe heard another town doing, or what was your how'd you come up with that? Or just
As I said, I think last year at the initial height of the pandemic, springtime pandemic, we saw. All you had to do is watch the news once or twice, and you could see just another story about people needing food and long lines for food, even up at Gillette. It was the Mass Military Association or something like that was running food distributions with the help of the Patriots in their parking lot. Had very long lines up there, veterans waiting to receive food from them. So we just thought that was, like I say, when our effort to try and help the community out in general, not the veterans specific, didn't go very well. We decided that they seemed like a logical choice to turn to, and it's been we've always, as I said, also been associated with them at the holiday times. It just makes sense to try and help out at this time as well. So
right.
Pantry itself, has a legacy, great legacy, which I'm only, maintaining that legacy, I'm trying to maintain that legacy as best as possible. So.
Right, Joey.
We gotta take a quick break, really quick. We're right up against a break. When I come back, I'd like to talk a little bit more about some other events that might be happening during the summer of 2021 here. We're close to the summer here, about 2 weeks. So we're going to do that when we come back. It is 7:24 a.m. and you're listening to Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, on TuneIn, WVBF 1530, audio now, 605-562-7958 as well. We will be right back. All right. So when we come back, do a few more minutes, talk about some upcoming events that you guys may want to mention as well.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Something you got, Ray, or what's that?
I should mention again that we're continuing to do the food drive on the third Tuesday. That's be continuing, and we're just trying to spread the word through the veteran community in Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, Rochester, and neighboring towns. I guess at this point.
Third Tuesday or second Tuesday?
It should be the third Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
Yep, June 15th, I believe.
Yes, that is. So next Tuesday, because this is, yes, we had a Tuesday last month, so it'll be, next week is second Tuesday, so it'll be the worst Tuesday after that. So, yes.
All right.
Alright, so I'll let you guys know when we're back.
Also carry the ball from here.
All right, so I'll let you know when we're back from a commercial break.
All right, sounds good.
I'll hang out just in case something comes up.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. It would have been nice if it was last week because we had a charity golf tournament yesterday. A little warm, but a good day. Hey, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
You think we should mention that we might open this up to the greater public if we have enough goods in the Greater Boston Food Bank as part of this program?
The general public, you mean?
Yeah.
Haven't thought about doing that at this point, but
No, I don't want to do it on the radio. We don't have any concrete plans to do it.
yeah. The only thing we talked about was St. Patrick's.
Yeah, we could talk about that too.
You haven't heard back from them, have you?
No.
I got 28 seconds.
I've sent it out 3 times, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay. As far as I know, I can keep getting boxes, so, you know. You know, it's primarily focused on the veterans and everything, this show. But,
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. Today is June 6th, 2021, and we are back with our guests this morning. Good morning. We got a few more minutes here. With the last couple of minutes we have, is there any other things you might want to mention about the food drive?
we said June 15th. Either way, for me to remember, is the third Tuesday of the month. Is right now the distribution date, and we hold that from 11 a.m. to 12 noon in the parking lot that's behind our pantry. The pantry address is 53 Oak Street, but we ask everyone to come into the parking lot off of Pearl Street, which is by Eggers Furniture, so that we can control the traffic flow through the distribution, in a safe manner. So we block off the driveway off of Oak Street for anyone who's coming and trying to find that. So, and we usually get a real good rush at the beginning, and then tails off. So we're just looking to help support as many veterans out there that are in need. Knowing that we were serving on average 83 a month. 83 each time we had a distribution last summer. We like to see those numbers again if they're out there and looking for food. So that's our bottom line, is to get food out to people who are in need. With as little little trouble or little no barriers as possible. Few barriers as possible, I guess, is the best way to call it. So talk about it.
Well, there's one thing I think you can do, Joe, too, if you're on the air, and maybe give a reminder at the end of the show on the drive-through on the 15th. It's on a Tuesday, correct? 11 a.m. on Oak Street in Middleboro. So I'd say next week, maybe give a quick reminder, too, to your listeners, and maybe put a bug in everyone's ear to try to let everyone know that that's something you can do on this end to get people to remember, because dates are tough to remember. People mark it down on their calendar, but sometimes when you get a little bug in your area, that really helps. So, maybe I should, I don't want to forget that. So it's, it's a week, almost a little more than a week away. So I think that's something we could do on our behalf, because we are taking the time to talk to the representatives of the food pantry, and they're calling us. So at the end of the day, we need results, right?
Yes, and I've been mentioning it on other shows as well. We have a veteran show that airs on Tuesday that has talked about this event. Talk about it during the morning news as well, during community announcements. So there's a lot of it getting out.
And plus the general commercials you play on your show and on Middleboro Matters too. So you engineer that show, and I think you played it twice. Hearing Ray's voice, you sound good on the radio, Ray. Yeah, yeah. It'd be good to have you in studio now that hopefully, we can, with this pandemic kind of going on the wayside. Just gotta check it with the big boss man. But would you like to come on the air? Maybe come in live sometime and talk in the studio, maybe sometime in the near future.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
You gotta run it by the big cheese first, right?
Yep, I will.
Always gotta run it by the big cheese, right? That's what he says. You gotta call me first. So you can learn now, right? But that's awesome. You guys took the time to call. It is great that you both volunteering, and but what you're doing, in my opinion, is working. It's when you do something, you want it to work. You want it to be successful. You just don't want to go through the motions, because people's people need the food. They need they need everything you have as far as what you're serving and what you provide, and there's a place in God's heart for both of you, because you're putting a lot of time into it. Seems like it's working good, and it seems like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, someone wants to do his work.
Knocking on the door.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. And Joey?
All right. We're going to let Ray go as well. I want to thank Ray and Dave for calling in to... Oh, wait a minute. My mic wasn't on. Sorry about that. I want to thank Dave and Ray for calling in this morning. I'm going to let Ray go as well. Thank you, Ray.
Right. Ready? Sing the Middleboro Food Pantry song, right? We gotta get a jingle for you. We gotta work on the jingle. Jingles always work. You know what I'm saying? But when you got all these different jingles here on the radio, and now they're stuck in your head, and you just can't get them out of your head. So jingles always work. So we will work on the jingle, right, Joe?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Ray.
Thank you so
Have a
much, Ray.
wonderful day. Yeah, thank you, Dave, too.
Yep. Thank you, Dave.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was Ray and Dave calling in this morning.
You fiddling with your mic over there?
I was
Touching
for
stuff over there?
I was for a second.
Yeah. Why? Would you shut that off to play the commercials? Or?
No, I shut it off so the people on Facebook can hear the interview.
Now I can't hear anything. Oh well, because he hung up.
Yeah.
All right. Can't take my earphones off. Now it's great when those when Ray calls, and it was nice. Dave Cunningham, coordinator over there at the food pantry in Middleboro. It's awesome that they called, and yeah, they, like I said, we've been pushing that. You've been pushing that for a while, and it's funny too. I'm proud of you because you brought that on your own. It wasn't my idea. It was your idea. It was and you got the commercials going, and so that's good. And hopefully we can get him in the studio. Okay, ask Mark and see if it's all right with him, but. Sometime soon, things,
Yeah, towards the end of towards the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Or so, to have them back on live, in the studio.
That'd be awesome. I mean, just hearing Lauren Decker and Jack Haley on Middleboro Matters.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because there's a lot of loyal listeners out there, and
having everyone back.
Well, yeah, I'm working on it. Picking
The veteran show as well as back live.
It just goes to show the loyalty of the listeners because they'll listen to the radio interview. I mean, the telephone interviews. It's tough. It's really not the best. And we tell people who call. I mean, that connection was awesome, Dave and Ray. So, but I think that's important too. Anybody who's calling in on the phone still to be in one spot. And it's important, obviously, for the host to tell them, if you call on a landline, that's better. But they don't realize when they're walking around their house on a phone interview that, you're going in and out, and you can't really tell them. It's just, I don't know. You can, but they don't know because they're not listening because, there's a delay. So, but, yeah, live in the studio is nothing better. And it's funny, too, because it's something that people, they just want it back. It's just great hearing. It was great hearing Jack and Lauren. It was a great show. I listened to the whole show, and that's good. That some of the calls gave kudos to you, and that was good that you were able to, hang on there. And you've been doing their engineering and producing, for a couple of years now. So you run the board for those guys, and it's just good to hear them on the radio. So that's good. So happy days are here again. Hopefully we get and people miss the shows. I think people like listening to, even though people like listening to me. I don't know, but I think people just like just talk shows like this, just basic talk shows. They don't want all sorts of bad news. They want some positive. So. What do you got, Joe? You got your earphones on?
I was just listening.
You look like you're like a
I was
over there.
I was just listening to how the sound sounded.
And that sounds great.
And it sounds great.
This engineer man.
All right.
Working his magic.
Yes. All right.
Okay, we got to do the weather, right?
Oh, yeah, weather.
We
totally forgot about the weather.
That's all right.
All right, Middleboro 60. Wait, let me refresh that real quick. 72. 72. I almost said 66. It's not 66 because I saw 70 earlier.
Oh. Right.
So it's 72 currently. 93 today. This is the second day of 90-degree heat. Tomorrow 90, Tuesday 90, and we get a little bit of relief on Tuesday with some rain in the forecast. And Taunton. Let me refresh that. It's not 65. It's 72 currently. 94 for the high. Today, tomorrow 91. 89 on Tuesday. So a little colder here in Taunton for Tuesday. And Driscoll, Texas. 74 degrees. And sunny. 93 for the high today, 95 Monday, and 94 on Tuesday. 90s all week. We're getting closer to that 100-degree mark there. That happens quite a bit in Texas. In parts of Texas.
Right.
That happens quite a bit. And there's some other weird weather that happens in Texas as well.
So technically, if you need to know what's going on in Driscoll, Texas, which is a suburb of Galveston, I guess this is the place to get your information, right?
Yes.
Or just look it up.
So 74 right now in Driscoll, Texas. Okay. Driscoll, North Dakota, which I believe is an hour away from Billings.
Okay.
68 right now. Currently 81 for the high today. 90 tomorrow. And on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So 90s all over the place. All around the country.
90s.
Wow. That is a signal for summer, which is soon. So 68 currently in Driscoll, North Dakota.
Hey Joe.
Yes.
I wasn't kidding about the jingle. Jingles work. They really do.
They do work. Yes, they do work. There's a lot of jingles out there that are so well known from businesses. Yeah, so jingles do work.
There's some nonprofits out there that I hear on other AM stations. You know what I mean? And it's just, every time you hear it, you just, oh my God, this is the millionth time I heard this, but you never. There's a jingle I know for a card donation service that's out there. Well, most people know.
Yeah,
You know, and without mentioning it, because they don't advertise with us.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. It's a card donation service, and the kids sing, and
Yeah.
and the guy comes on and sings, and that commercial's been running for like, I don't know, 7,
A
8
long
years
time,
now.
yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my, you know, and it's just that's the jingle. So if you ever want to donate your vehicle, you just think that just because of the jingle.
Yeah.
Just because the song. It's just the song. It's the song. Oh my God. Okay. So when you think about donating your car, your boat, or property, or whatever, you think of that song. And they got obviously you got to cut your phone number too. But I mean that's pretty much statewide, regional wide advertising. I mean we're talking Middleboro, Taunton, surrounding communities. So obviously, but I mean just a jingle to remember the food pantry. I don't know. Maybe maybe me and Ray gotta put our heads together or something like that on that and get a jingle going. But they work. They've always worked. So I'm just using that as an example.
So the Alley Theater is going to hold another event coming up on June 23rd, Wednesday. Hyena Sound will be performing on the patio at the Alley Theater. Hyena Sound is an all-male a cappella group based out of Cape Cod, made up of collegiate singers across the United States. Dating back to 1994, the members have gathered on Cape Cod around Memorial Day to begin rehearsals before embarking on a performance schedule of over 100 public and private performances across the Cape and Greater New England over the months of June and August. So they will be here in Middleboro, June 23rd at the Alley Theater. And email bertwoodschool@aol.com. For tickets, $25 per person, limited seats. The bartending service of New England is offering a full bar, 6 p.m. cocktails, 6:30 p.m. the music. The Alley Theater is located at 133 Center Street in Middleboro.
Nice.
Yes, so I'll go out to see Hyena Sound.
Yeah, acapella groups are awesome.
Yes, a cappella. There's a lot
Acapella.
of good a cappella groups.
When I worked at the Marriott years ago, I worked there security. It was in the 90s. There used to be a place. There used to be a group called North Shore. Acapella. I'm saying it wrong. You can help me out, you know. And they were awesome because they'd come in. I'd work nights and I'd hear them, but no instruments. They were unbelievable. They were just, oh my God. You know, there was probably 6 of them, and they were really good. So that's a real treat. Just voices.
The Middleboro Community Evening School is going to be holding registration June 22nd and 24th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in this CES office at Middleboro High School. The new Middleboro High School. The new one, yes, it's open. It is open.
Brand new, out of the box.
Opened last month. This is a walk-up registration. Be sure to wear a mask when entering the building. You may register by calling the school at 508-946-8868. This number, and leaving a message. Classes will begin July 6th. Ending on Thursday, August 12th. So Tuesday, July 6th, Thursday, August 12th. Courses offered will include Algebra 1 and 2.
Fun.
Anatomy and Physiology. Biology A and B. Career Planning, Consumer Mathematics, Current Events. English 1, 2, 3, and 4. Environmental Science, Geometry, Government and Law, Medical Terminology, and United States history. Information regarding class offerings, fees, and registration can be accessed through the Middleboro Public Schools website. Go to the School tab at the top of the page. Click High School. Go to Community on top tab. Then look for Community Evening School. The counselors at each student's home school will also have information as well. Contact HALBRITTON at middleboro.k12.ma.us and PBETTENCOURT at middleboro.k12.ma.us. So those are the emails to contact.
No phone number?
And there is a phone number,
Yeah.
yes, as well at the same phone number that you contact the school, 508-946-8868, to contact Patricia Betancourt as well.
That name rings a bell.
It does, yes. I know her.
But she worked as secretary or something like that?
I believe, yes.
You
Yeah,
you did that one year, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I did the community evening school, I believe, 1 year, yeah.
Yeah.
Sophomore year.
Right.
All right. Let's talk sports real quick, because it was something I wanted to talk about. And it got a laugh from me a little bit. Tom Brady, his rookie card was at auction recently, and it has set a world record. $3.1 million it was auctioned off for. $3.1 million at a public auction. Tom Brady's rookie card. And that's actually the second time that's happened. The second time that he's broken a record when it comes to his rookie cards. Selling at auction for a large amount of money. Wow.
I don't know. I'm not impressed with that.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, what? Because it's just like, talk about a disconnect. I mean, Tom Brady's great and everything, and it's nothing against him, but we were talking to representatives for a food pantry in Middleboro, and people in needed food and assistance. I mean,
Yeah.
It's tough times.
And
then someone turns around,
and something like this.
and someone turns around and buys a rookie card for
Yeah.
how much?
$3.1 million.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a disconnect. Who has the money to buy
Yeah.
that? I don't know. That $3.1 million could go.
Could go to many other things.
Give it to the
Yes.
Middleboro
Exactly.
food pantry. There you go.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
3.1 million could go to definitely
That's
other
a real-
things.
That's a real hero.
Other things
That-
other
that's
than a
a-
rookie card.
Right. Exactly. Half of that
Yeah.
would be appreciated. It would make people's budget. It would change people's lives. So it's just like, I read that and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
I'm not a fan of that either.
It's just like, okay, so someone had 3.1. They're investors, so what are they gonna try to get more for it later? Well, why would you pay
And-
3.1 million for
Yeah.
a baseball card? One card, right?
One card, a rookie card, yeah.
Do I get the chewing gum with it?
No.
The chewing gum that breaks your teeth?
No,
Are you serious? I'm not
I
even sure
don't
they-
think so.
I used to, when I was a kid, I used to collect Star Wars cards. I had tons and tons. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably worth money now, but I'd be waiting for the new Star Wars cards. I mean, I'd be running to the store and they'd give you a little gum. And at the point, even as a kid, I just throw the gum was so terrible. You just throw it away.
All right, real quick. I want to finish sports because we take a break
but
here.
I just had to say that.
Yeah, and
My
I
concern.
brought that up so that you could say that
You know
because
what? You
it
know
is
what-
ridiculous.
You know how to pipe up a little.
It
It's
is.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's stupid.
Celtics looking for a head coach currently. Brad Stevens is the new general manager.
Brad Stevens I love Brad Stevens. He's such a class actor. He's going to do wonderful.
I believe he'll do wonderful as well.
So Danny Ainge is out, huh?
Danny Ainge is out, so it'll be interesting to see who is the head coach. The Bruins lost against the Islanders last night,
what's
so
that game?
the series is tied 2-2. So going into Game 5, it's going to be important
Where's
because
Game 5 being played?
Game 5 is being played in Boston, and I believe the Boston Bruins have home field advantage or home ice advantage.
So Thursday night they came back from overtime win, right?
Yes. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of games. Because
No, one more game.
good series.
Right? Game 7, right?
Yeah, no, Game 5. Game
Oh,
5.
5.
Yes. All right, we'll take a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. All right. Today in history, I think. Finish off with that. I don't really have a lot of time to talk about anything else. Today in history, and then a reminder about the...
Yeah, it's Tuesday. You got the address?
I do, hold on.
Middleboro Landscape Supply, located
Get
at
everything up
457
here.
Wareham Street in Middleboro,
Get that up.
Massachusetts, just off of Route
Food
28
pantry.
and 495 is the place to go for all your landscaping needs. They supply stone, mulch,
Okay.
firewood,
That's good.
loom, granite, and seashells. They also have certified playground wood chips. Call 508-947-5363 to order and schedule a delivery.
1, 3, 1, enter.
The COVID-19 vaccines can be our chance
5,
to
2,
get back to our plans. Who we are,
163. Yeah, I'm
what we miss,
just gonna play that once
to
today.
get back
I'm
to
taking a lunch, but I'm going to take you to a good place and we'll have a good lunch, okay?
Yeah.
No pork crap.
But it's okay to have questions. Like, how were the vaccines tested? In rigorous clinical trials among adults of diverse backgrounds. Can the vaccines give you COVID-19? You cannot get COVID-19 from a vaccine.
So, let's put some
Why should
shoes.
I get vaccinated?
Okay?
Protecting
Yeah,
yourself.
I told Grandpa about the shoes too, so
You don't want to go get them today?
I don't really know. I don't want to spend my time looking for shoes today.
Yeah, but you need them.
I need them, yes, I know, but I mentioned it to Grandpa. I mentioned it to Grandpa
What did he
that he said he'll look for some.
Combat veteran motorcycle.
Just let me know. He wanted me to let him know about what I need, so I gotta look to see what I have, and then I'll go from there.
Our mission is to support those who have defended our
163. I'll do
Our
that.
focus is to help
Alright.
veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance.
I want to do. I want to
Say thank you and
reorder this log a little bit.
we have members from nearly
Take out
50
something.
states and living abroad.
What?
Many
Uh,
members continue to
Combat
serve
vets
our armed forces
PSA.
with several
I think should only be done once because there's a lot of time that gets taken.
Have you called him?
and many
I gotta call him.
Why don't you
Yeah,
call him today?
yeah, I gotta give him a call.
I mean, he never called you back. Remember you called him, what, back in February?
Yeah,
March, you
like
said he was
I think it was March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to call
You gotta
back.
call him. You
Yeah.
need some more information. This is
I do.
on the same ad
I
for
do,
just 2
yeah.
years.
I need some new ads. I think.
Well, you should send you something new, a little more refreshed.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester.
Beginning of that jingle, yeah? Well, they do have a jingle, I guess.
Yeah, it's yeah. They have one, kind of music-wise.
Church in downtown Middleboro.
Word jingle, though.
Yeah. Let's get through the
Approximately 500 families
today in
in
history here,
Massachusetts.
so I can talk about
And many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take
Food
many
pantry.
forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svbmiddleboro.org.
Websites are tough for
May
people.
the good Lord
It
bless you
is.
and keep you safe.
It was tough for me to say it. I had to, like, with emails, I usually word by word so people can write it down.
I still like to call people.
Alright, let me get that back up. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. Today in history, 1832. The June Rebellion in Paris is put down by the National Guard. 1892. This is something Dad might like. Or Don? Oh. Don, Dad.
Dawn. It's Dawn in the studio. Love a dad.
Whatever. I I let that slip every once in a while.
Whatever.
1892, the Chicago L elevated rail system begins operation. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I'd love, you know what? I mean, maybe they got to work on getting their crime situation taken care of, but I would love to ride the Chicago L. I really, because I love trains, and
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to ride the L in Boston before they took it down years ago, and that's an experience. From Forest Hills to Eggleston, I've been further than that, to Chinatown or but there was an elevator that ran Washington Street, and it was interesting.
All right. The eruption of Nova Rupta in Alaska begins on this day in 1912. It is the largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century. 1944, World War II, the Allied invasion of Normandy, codenamed Operation Overlord, begins with the execution of Operation Neptune, commonly referred to as D-Day. The landing of 155,000 Allied troops on the beaches of Normandy in France. The Allied soldiers quickly break through the Atlantic Wall and push inland in the largest amphibious military operation in history. 1946, the Basketball Association of America is founded in New York City. The BAA was a precursor to the modern NBA, which we have today. Happy birthday to Tony Levin, American bass player and songwriter, and Robert Englund, 1947, born on this day. Best known for Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddie.
Who's the bass player? What's
Tony Levin, believe he was in King Crimson. Let me make sure of that really quickly. Is this gonna...
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I need to copy the name and put it into Google and look his name up really quickly.
Okay.
And
some bass player's birthday.
King Crimson.
Okay.
Yes, King Crimson. Peter Gabriel, who he's worked with as well.
Okay.
He's from Boston.
Oh.
He's from Boston, so he's a local guy. So happy birthday to Tony Levin.
Nice.
And
Tony Levin.
And on 15 years ago today, we lost Billy Preston, American singer, songwriter, pianist, and actor.
He's the fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle. We lost him 15
Go on YouTube and
years
you watch the when they were all on the roof, and they did those 4 or 5 songs. That was the last time the Beatles played live up on the Abbey Studio roofs. But hey, I want to wish you a happy birthday from yesterday.
Thank you.
Yesterday was your 22nd birthday, and we spent the day in Connecticut. We did the Essex Steam Train in a riverboat. That was a lot of fun. If you ever want to go down to Connecticut, that's a great time. And everyone was so happy, and it was great. It was really good. All
right, real quick. June 15th is the next Sick at Heart Food Pantry Veterans Drive-In. That will be located at 53 Oak Street in Middleboro. The Pearl Street entrance. So go into the municipal parking lot behind the food pantry from the Pearl Street entrance.
And I'm sure when you pull in, you'll see how they got the line going. It'll probably be pretty clear to you, and there'll be I'm sure there'll be signage or whatever. But that would be good. But I think we should just,
11 to 12, June 15th.
Yeah, I'd pass it on to you. Some love notes to your other personalities here. Maybe they can.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mentioned it last Tuesday, and I mentioned it again on Tuesday as well.
Maybe you can mention it to Paul for Cranberry Country Journal.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll print out the article and give it to Paul.
I would. I'd wallpaper the place with that article. I'm bigger than life, Joey.
It's already being talked about in the morning news.
Right.
Talked about it on several other different shows as well. So, yes.
Bigger than life. That's why billboards work.
All right, let's finish the show today. 8:01 currently, so we gotta go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening. Join us next week, June 13th, 2021. Already close to halfway through the month.
Don't say that. No, that's just depressing when you say that. Halfway through the month. Yeah, let's just save the flavor.
June.
Let's just save the flavor there.
Of June.
Okay. Then.
Well,
Savor,
it just goes by quick.
Savor the flavor.
Yes, yeah. Definitely go out there and enjoy the nice weather.
We'll get some lunch after you're done. We're going to savor the flavor.
Hopefully it stays this way.
Smell the flowers.
Hopefully it stays this way for a couple of months. So, all right. Bye-bye, everyone. All right.
Oh, Mickey. Tony Lovin. Yeah. Joey, happy birthday and nice day. It sounds like. Nice day. It sounds like on the 16th show. Yeah, it was.
Update the news here.
Studios at 14 Church Green. We are AM 1530, WVBF,
Alright.
Taunton, and W259DD.
Update the news.
99.7 FM, your hometown
Got
radio
that.
station.
News is updated, and it should immediately.
Alright, I'm hitting the road, dude.
Alright.
Get back here as soon as
Bye-bye,
I can.
everyone. Thank you for listening today.
Everybody,